Welcome to Immediate Review. This is another special video. This is being filmed at the same time as...
whatever, that doesn't matter.
We're keeping initiatives.
This is our top 10 worst movies
of 2019.
Least favorite movies, whatever you want to call it. These are the movies that made us the most sad, pissed off, angry.
Eat your heart out, Mike Flanagan. Alright, so we'll keep initiative as our last video. Dakota will go first. I will go, and we will do our first 5, and then Person A will join us for the final 5.
Person A doesn't have enough for 10, so yeah.
She was selective in the movies that she decided to
join us. There were a lot of movies prior to y'all doing this review thing this year that I personally chose not to see because I saw the trailer and was like, that's going to be a fucking awful movie.
Alright.
Didn't watch it.
Okay.
So, my number 10 least favorite movie of the year is Gemini Man in Screen X. My God. Go watch our review. I don't know, maybe the movie's not that bad. It's really bad, but seeing it in Screen X just made it so much worse. And I did not have a good time at the movies. Yeah, it was a good review, but yeah, Gemini Man, it's yeah.
It's not a glorious tale of nature versus nurture.
No,
it is a worthy introduction into our worst of list.
All right, Peter.
All right, and we do have to keep it brief because this is going to go forever if we decide to talk about each of these movies. But
as brief as we can.
My number 10 worst movie for 2019 is Yesterday.
Ooh.
The Beatles, otherworldly, only these 3 people remember the Beatles, and man, it just panders to fucking Beatles fans, and it's just like, we know about the Beatles, don't we? Don't you like it? And yeah, it just ends up being this stupid love story that doesn't make any sense. And,
all right, let's move on because...
Anyways, Yesterday.
All right, Person A. Oh, wait. What am I thinking?
No, yep.
Never mind.
You got to skip till you get to number 5.
Cut that, Peter.
Nope.
All right. My number 9 least favorite movie of the year is 2019 Black Christmas. Oof. This was a really bad horror remake. It was not good. The only merit I can give it is the acting was good. It was believable. I mean, for the most part, there were some people who weren't so great, but the leads, they were all really good. That's it. It's bad. Go watch our review. Yeah.
That should be out.
P2.
Okay. My number 9 is Motherless Brooklyn.
Motherless fucking Brooklyn.
Alright, the Edward Norton.
This was on my list, but it eventually went out. Oh, that movie was so stupid.
Oh man, it was bad. It was fucking Edward Norton's Oscar reel, written and directed by Edward Norton. Jesus Christ, man. Some of the worst Tourette's I've ever seen on camera. Just awful. And did he have sex with a black guy?
Yes.
Yes, go watch our review.
Actually, no. Actually, when I thought about it later, he got raped by a black guy.
Yeah.
Because he drugged him at the club, and then he woke up and he's like, "You liked it," and he's like, "I got threads in my head later."
Anyways.
Okay, my number 8 worst movie of the year is The Haunting of Sharon Tate. Man, this movie...
Didn't see it.
So fucking bad. Didn't go to theaters. It's basically, it came out to capitalize on Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. A couple Manson movies have been made in its wake, which is beautiful to me because it captures the magic of the 70s and ripping off classics. But yeah, this one is so it's so disrespectful and horrible, and like the whole movie, she's having premonitions of her death, and so basically they do all the death sequences through her dreams, and so they show all the murders in detail and graphic, but then they cut to her waking up, and so it's fine. Then they repeat that throughout the movie and just do it over and over again, and Hilary Duff's horrible. It's like a bunch of people are complaining about, the portrayal of Sharon Tate in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And it's just, if you are, go watch The Haunting of Sharon Tate. And, you'll see what a disrespectful portrayal truly is. It was really bad. And the director's about to do another movie like that with OJ's wife. Yeah, I guess that's his thing now, is, rewriting the perspective
real life
of,
murder
of women who were
exploitation
murdered.
movies.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So my number 8 worst movie of 2019 is The Hobbs and Shawshank Redemption. I mean Hobbs and Shaw, or Hobbs v. Shaw, whatever you want.
Hobbs v. Shaw.
Hobbs v. Shaw. So, and they basically are. This is just, a big dick fucking fucking just stroking ego movie where Jason Statham and The Rock fucking give each other blowjobs the whole movie. It's fucking super weird. Action's good though. It does have good action. Idris Elba, he's Black Superman. It's I don't know. It's a movie. If you like the Fast and the Furious, big action, big budget, explosions, big muscle dudes and scrawny British dudes who can compete with them and whatnot, then yeah.
Have you seen any of the recent Fast and the Furious movies?
I've seen the first 2. I stopped at Tokyo Drift.
So you don't even understand
I know that they're they were in the movies and then they kind of team up.
I'm just saying you're coming from the perspective of just never seen any of them, just watching the spin-off.
Just watch the movie. Yeah, I was taken to this movie, and not by Liam Neeson.
I was taken to this movie. All right, my number 7 least favorite movie of the year is The Secret Life of Pets 2. It was really, really bad. It felt like a collection of shorts, of shorts that play before animated movies, and all the ones that were rejected. And they took all those rejected shorts and cut them together in an 1.5-hour movie. And I fucking loathed it so much. It was
really just a series of disconnected.
It's like Pulp Fiction, but with dogs and cats.
See, that sounds awesome.
And it's but the stories are
on
stupid.
paper.
On paper,
the stories are stupid. One's a bunny dresses up as a superhero when his adult leaves.
I remember seeing that.
I mean, it's The Secret Life of Pets 2. Maybe the first one was good. I haven't seen the first one, but
I haven't seen it.
I saw this sequel, and it got a couple laughs, but there's some okay voice work. But overall, it was one of those movies where I'm just dear God, when does it fucking end? So I had to put it on the list.
All right.
What's your number 7?
My number 7 is Stuber.
I didn't see this one.
Okay, this movie, I mean, I summarized it, I think, in a text message to Dakota when I saw it, and it just, it tries to do the buddy comedy cop of, guy who isn't, a cop and then another guy, and they have, a unique premise where the guy is, had eye surgery, and that's why he can't drive, so he has to get an Uber to drive him around. And it would be good if it just stuck to that comedy route. If it just did what it did in the trailers and it was just dumb, stupid Ace Ventura style comedy, I probably would have liked it. But it tries to bend into a more serious aspects and fails, and just tries to be more than it is, and just doesn't even live up to what it tries to be. Yeah, bad movie.
Yeah, glad I didn't see it.
Number 6.
Number 6. Another kids movie is Lego Movie 2. Oh my god. This is just like cinematic ADD. Just like sugar coated. It's the biggest commercial I've ever seen. My god. It is just like, it's a Lego Batman. Incredible. First Lego movie. Okay. But, like, this to me was just horrible. I really didn't enjoy it at all. It was just, the jokes were too fast. None of them, the good ones, didn't have time to land. They were immediately interrupted with another joke, reference thing. Like something popping out of nowhere. It was just, yeah. It was, everything was not awesome. Peter.
All right. My
Number 6.
number 6
Number 6
is Charlie's Angels.
Oh yeah.
Watch our review on this one. It's just not good. Okay, it's not like The Room. It's not everything. It's not good. You can't be naked. Okay. Next question.
Yeah. You know, this was gonna be on my list. But we saw this double feature, Charlie's Angels and Ford v Ferrari. And, you know, when we got our Charlie's Angels, I was like, oh, definitely. Top 10 worst, definitely. And then we saw Ford v Ferrari, and I was like, honestly, I enjoyed Charlie's Angels more, in a sense. I just enjoyed studying Charlie's Angels more. And it gave us a more stimulating conversation, surprisingly enough. And Ford v Ferrari, I was just like, this is so fucking generic. But I was like, but I can't put Ford v Ferrari on my top 10. Like, so it just, a paradox happened, and I was like, Charlie's Angels isn't going on my top 10.
Fair enough.
Bottom 10, I suppose.
Fair enough. I think person A, you're number 5.
Yeah, or...
Wait. In order, we got to start with you, though. With your number 5.
I wanna end on my number 1, actually. So let's maybe do it this way.
Okay, so now we're switching order.
Since
Okay.
So you're number 5.
Everything except for one thing on my, well, 2 things on my list are probably gonna piss people off. I'll just preface with that.
Hey, well, okay, I'll add to the preface. I fucking because I was gonna preface mine, like, movies are all about how they make you feel. At the end of the day, that's what's most important. And, like, sometimes even a well-crafted, technically good movie can make you fucking feel so shitty and can still make your top 10. So, I was going to say that, but yeah.
Bottom 10.
Yeah, these
Bottom 10.
And these are just our opinions of what we saw.
Man.
This doesn't
it's just my opinion,
reflect... like what movie is actually technically the worst this year.
Yeah, we don't know
that.
shit.
This is really my least favorite. The movies I hated the most.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's our list. Mike Flanagan, you can fuck the fuck off.
I have the
See, I'm
I have
really
the
wishing
Hills
I had
Have
seen
Eyes
that
Part
so I
2.
could
This
put it
movie's
on my
horrible.
list.
You know, I ain't
But I didn't go see Dr. Sleep because I knew it would end up on my list.
All right.
All right. So number 5, it's 2019's The Lion King.
Shitty movie.
It
It's a
had
piece
no
of
purpose.
shit. It fucking
sucks.
Can you call this movie live action? No, you cannot. It's the second animated Lion King. And it's the CGI. Animals have absolutely no facial expressions. Shot for shot, boring ass, yawn fest remake of The Lion King. If you want to hear more about it, I'm sure there are a million reviews. I don't know.
I'll end up talking about it before the end of this video.
Yeah. Like, it is,
Save some for
it
us.
is a soulless fucking remake. It's like watching somebody fuck a lion corpse.
Yeah.
The Lion King corpse. All right.
So, yeah.
What is your number 5?
Number 5 is the Angry Birds 2 movie.
Yeah, see, I didn't hate this one as much.
I did not like it, man.
I didn't either.
There was plot holes in this fucking thing left and right. The biggest one that I just have to point out is the main source of transportation for these fucking birds is they get catapulted across the goddamn island. And one of the main forms of, like, turmoil that we experience at the very beginning of the movie is, like, when the fucking, the giant ice ball is flying into, like, the rock that they're in. And they jump out and they're just like, oh, they're falling. They're falling. And they have to make a parachute or they're all going to die. Why? We literally see our red bird get launched way further than he fell, going way faster.
Kids movies making
like, it made me so pissed off, dude.
It's a video game movie, I suppose.
It was awful, dude. And everybody said it was like, oh, it's like so perfect. Best movie of the year.
You're right.
No.
You're right.
No. Okay.
No, a lot of people said it was really good, and it got great reviews.
All right. This is what the top 5, like the bottom 5, are doing to me. Okay, like I swear to God, I did not have a good time during this fucking movie. Fucking 5th worst.
No, number 5. All right, you already said it yesterday. My God, that fucking movie's lame. Oh my fuck. It was so stupid.
So we went and saw this in Grants Pass, didn't we? Like I'm pretty sure in that little theater in Grants Pass.
Yeah.
Dakota was so mad by the time we left the theater. Like I was kind of like, that was kind of bad, and Dakota's just like so pissed. Like I don't think we were like allowed to talk about anything except fuck this movie for like at least a half an hour. Like you were mad, dude.
We were warming up to seeing something. I can't remember, I think. But man, it just, like you said,
I think it was Inglourious Bastards, wasn't it? We were going to Portland immediately after that. We were at the OBH shoot.
It was the night before. I don't remember. But yeah, and everybody in there loved the movie, and and I just, like you said, man, it's pandering, and I thought it was really lame that it only, I don't know. I don't even want to fucking talk about it. I really don't. I hated that movie so much. All right. First, the one thing I do want to say is the huge plot hole of just, like, first of all, the inherent plot hole of just, like, the Beatles changed music so much. You can't just have the world and music be exactly the same, just the Beatles don't exist.
Yeah, that
it's
makes
like,
no sense.
So, you know, when I watched the trailer, I'm like, alright, it's fine. I accept that plot hole. Suspension of disbelief has been achieved. I want to see this movie. But then it's like, oh, Coke doesn't exist. Oh, Harry Potter doesn't exist. But some people remember it. Oh, but others don't. And just like, and our main character is just like such a fucking pushover. And he literally lets Ed Sheeran go, hey, like, make him change the song to Hey Dude. And it's like, why are you the protagonist? And fucking Ed Sheeran. This movie's a glorified Ed Sheeran advertisement. Yeah. When I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, Ed Sheeran's in a scene? Okay, no, he's in the whole goddamn movie. We get a montage of a song with him. There's a song competition of who can write the best song.
And he pouts when he loses.
Or the Beatles.
It's like, the Beatles are better than me.
Kate McKinnon's just evil record producer whose job is to be evil the whole time. And it's just like, you know, you can tell they just let her do all her improv lines, which it's like, it's fine, but it's cheap. And
the main relationship girl is fucking awful. It's like
you sound like Tommy. The main relationship
girl, fucking awful. Okay, so she like tried to make him famous, and then when he become famous, she like, oh, now you're too famous. I don't want to be with you.
And then he meets John Lennon, and everyone's like, oh, he looks like John. And it's so.
Yep. It's like, why would John Lennon let this random fucking person into his house?
He's like, I know what happened. I know everything. Come chat with me. It's like, fuck you, movie. That movie sucked ass.
Yeah. Fuck that fucking movie.
I'm both glad and not glad that I didn't see it because I wish I could share in your pain. But also I'm happy because
got-
I saw the trailer and I was like,
sheer in our pain.
shearing your pain.
I was stoked for that. I got in a fight with someone at the record, not a real fight, but it's a friendly debate with someone at the record store because they were like, "Oh, I hated Rocket Man but loved Yesterday," and I was just like, "What?" We were just the opposite, but that's fine. Yeah, Yesterday.
All right, let's
fucking
move on.
sucked.
What is your number 4?
Bleep that out.
Okay, let's keep going.
Okay, so initially my number 4 was going to go to Haunting of Sharon Tate, but then I thought about how I felt while watching it, and I really didn't care. And then I thought about, while you were talking about Charlie's Angels, how I felt while watching Charlie's Angels, and I realized that Charlie's Angels is my real number 4.
Charlie's Angels. Good.
Charlie's Angels, just, I mean, I talk about it a lot in the review, but honestly,
watch our review.
like, especially too, like, watching it as a woman and a feminist, felt like the movie was like, if you don't like this movie, then you're a bad feminist. If you don't like this movie, then you're a bad woman. And I'm just like, no, this is a bad
How about
movie.
if you don't like this movie, you're a bad fucking man, and if you do, fuck you.
like it just, it was,
I
it
think
was just a bad movie. It was a bad movie. It failed at what it wanted to do. It tried, and it failed.
I think we just had
It's all in the review.
Our 50 subscriber person A gender reveal.
Oh, really? None of those. None of the. And now for the female perspective.
The female expert, okay?
Yes.
Just because you're a female expert.
Whatever, let's keep it rolling.
Okay, my number 4 is Lion King. I was not prepared for this. I did not think it was good. I think that John Oliver did a better job than he did in another movie I'll talk about later, but for the most part, I just didn't enjoy it. I got to see it with Dakota, though, but it was before we were doing a media review. And, yeah, I was not as big of a fan as the original animated stuff as Dakota was, but, yeah.
My number 4, please don't at me, is Joker.
Joker.
Joaquin Phoenix in the most... First of all, the performance, it's like Joaquin Phoenix plays a creepy weirdo. No way. Just like in Her, you were never really there or here. What else? Damn it.
The Village.
You're distracting me. I don't know, but Joaquin Phoenix has always played a creepy weirdo, and they just like, I don't know. It's the most pretentious, goddamn full of itself movie I've ever seen on it. And like, I think the cinematography and the production design is nice, but it is too much self-indulgence for me to handle, and in the wrong way, and it's not even creative. It does nothing creative.
Gladiator, that's another one.
It's like, it's for people, I think, who've like never seen any old school gritty movies. And like, I hate to say this, because it's kind of like, it's an assumptive thing to say, but like, it's for people who like only like superhero movies, honestly, or who primarily like, and it's like Baby's first R-rated movie or something. Like, I don't know. It's just so wannabe. Like, I could see like a 16-year-old being like, "Yeah, I get this. This is me, man." Like, I don't know.
I resonate with so much. Taxation is theft.
This is such a new idea that's never been like touched upon in film before.
But yeah, I was done with Joker, and I saw it twice. I gave it a second chance. I was like, I'm gonna see it again, and nope, sorry, Joker fucking blew for me. And the reason it's so high on my list and on here is because I think it's really overrated. I think it's getting way overpraised. On Rotten Tomatoes, it's like a 67. I think that's completely fair. But people are acting like it's fucking The Godfather or something. Like,
Yeah, seriously. Cinematography is good, though.
All right, continue.
Person number 3.
My number 3. So, the fact that this is number 3 should let you know how I feel about my number 2 and my number 1 picks. So my number 3 choice is Cats. I don't think I have to say anything about this movie.
Evangelical Cats.
There will be a review. There is a review. The review is up at this point. Yes.
This is Thompson.
He's a big.
In case you forgot, in case you've recently seen Cats and you forgot what a real cat looks like, there's a real cat.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Look.
boy.
But yeah, everything is covered in that review.
Yeah, go
Cats
check our
is
review.
terrible. If you didn't already know that from the trailer and you went to it thinking it was gonna be good.
I actually.
I will say I did have fun. I did have a certain amount of fun. However, not enough fun for it to not be number 3 on my worst films of the year list. So it was still enough terribleness, and I still needed to have a drink while watching this movie. I was very, very happy that the theater had a bar while watching this movie.
I just gotta say, that reminds me, one review I was watching, they said they fucking, it was like they get paid to do it. And that it was the first review where they got a free drink ticket with their pass.
That is understandable. I feel like every person over the age of 21 who goes to see Cats should get 2 complimentary, and I say 2 because it's fucking long. Like, you get 1 at the start, and then, like, around the time that memory happens, about an hour in, you should be able to go get another drink while watching this movie.
I may give it another chance one day. All right, P tier.
I just want to say I opted not to put Cats on my list because it just automatically take number 1. So it is not on my list because it's too legendary. It's like the obvious choice for number 1. So anyways, my number 3 for worst of 2019 is Shyamalama Ding Dong's fucking Marvel-esque Shyamalan-verse Glass.
This shit was so bad. It's not on my list, but I'm so glad it's on yours.
It is fucking so bad.
It was horrible.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be bad, which is why I did not see it.
It has just fucking... It's just so awful. Like, we didn't review it at all, but it's just like, the script is bad, the twists are bad, the ending is bad, the cinematography a lot of times is just like done with like security cameras and stuff.
And it's just like, it's purple when it's Mr. Glass, it's fucking pink when it's like, it's odd.
And like anybody...
The color theory is very basic.
And the ending is so dumb. It's like, literally, if anybody saw the video of fucking like, some guy like struggling to bend a bar and a guy like lift up the thing and it's like a viral video in this day and age, it's just gonna be like, that shit's fake.
Yeah.
And fucking just like, it's not gonna start any fucking mutant revolution or anything like that.
Spoiler alert.
Fucking shove it up your ass,
People
Shyamalan.
watch people kill other people, like legit kill other people all the time online.
Yeah.
And are like, oh shit, that's fake. Oh wait, no, that was real. Well, never mind.
I fucking think it's honestly one of the worst trilogies ever. I don't think Unbreakable's that great. It's elements of it are cool. Sam Jackson's
As
awesome.
a standalone, it's cool, but like
it's just
when
okay,
when you
man.
link
I think
it
it's
together,
better the first time when it's the mystery is like, ooh, what is going on?
Any Shyamalan movie is like
But
that.
for me, Unbreakable doesn't have good rewatch value. I respected it more when I had only seen it once.
Yeah.
And then Split, I thought was just okay. It was fine. And then it's a twist at the end that it's a sequel to Unbreakable, and I laughed my fucking ass off. And it was like a sold-out theater, and people were pissed at me. Like, a bunch of people looked, and I was like, shit, I'm sorry. I think it's funny that Bruce Willis is at the end. But yeah, not a good trilogy. Not a good third movie.
No, it's not. Especially because fucking, like, the way that Bruce Willis dies
Unbreakable
is fucking
split glass.
so dumb. It's just like,
It's a sentence.
small puddle of water. It's like the fucking, his one weakness. Alright.
Shyamalan has a thing with water. Signs.
He's
Unbreakable.
afraid of it. All right. Again, a reminder that movies are all about the emotion they make you feel and not necessarily the technical quality. Because this is another movie a lot of people like. My third least favorite movie is Dr. Sleep. Man, this movie depressed me. It really fucking depressed me. I really hate to judge a movie so harshly based on, like, you know, such little footage. Maybe 10 minutes of footage. But, that 10 minutes to me is so poorly done and unnecessary and disrespectful. I just I hated all of the Kubrick recreations, and just didn't think the movie needed it. And I don't know, maybe we should slap something in Adobe and edit together a version that cuts all those. Because there are a lot of cool, interesting things in Dr. Sleep, but man, I love Kubrick way too much to enjoy Dr. Sleep. And
yeah, it didn't make my top 10 worst, but I'm glad you put it on there.
It just depressed me because I don't think it's I can totally see why people are digging it. I really can, but for me, I was just so sad just to see all that shit stolen and recreated. And
go check out our review.
Yeah, see how happy I get once we start talking about the trailers and stop talking about it. Okay.
Person A, your number 2.
Speaking of it, my number 2 is It Chapter 2, which was by far one of the worst theater experiences I have had in my life. Just in terms of sitting in the theater, feeling uncomfortable, filled with rage for almost 3 hours the entire time. Just, the experience I had while watching this was so awful. It's kind of reflected in the review. There is so much more. So much more behind
Goes
it.
in depth in the surprising, disappointing list. Sorry to spoil that, but check it out.
I can understand why people like this movie. It's well shot. If you are easy to please,
I think I can understand liking it for
or you
reasons.
like it ironically because of all of the weird shit, yeah, exactly, Bill shaking a small child in the middle of the street. Bill is definitely fucking going to jail for the murder of that kid. No doubt in my mind. He was the last person seen with that kid. That kid ends up dead. He's been, stalking him and, shaking, assaulting him in the streets and, yelling things at him. Yeah, no. Bill's going to jail for that. Yeah, this was just a awful experience for me. I hated how they handle, I talk about a little bit more in the disappointing, surprising, how I hate how they handle the how they handle LGBTQ issues and characters in the film. The MacGuffin plot is dumb. It's bad. I had a miserable time watching it.
My number 2 is Gemini Man in Screen X.
Damn, Gemini Man got that high?
Yeah, man. It was fucking... I could not handle this fucking movie, dude. For one, we had to switch seats. We picked seats, and the Screen X was so nauseating. We had to move all the way to the back. It was just I could not handle it. I was going to throw up in the theater. De-aging fucking CGI. Fucking awful.
So bad.
This movie was advertised as amazing de-aging CGI. Go watch The Irishman if you want to see good de-aging CGI.
Not in Chapter 2 or Gemini Man.
Irishman. But yeah, literally just Will Smith acting off of Will Smith. It's fucking just super dumb. Will Smith kung fu fights with a motorcycle.
CGI Will Smith.
Yeah, don't go see this. That's my number 2. Boom. What's your number 2, Dakota?
My number 2 is Cats. Here's Delilah.
In case you forgot what a real cat looks like.
Yeah. If we were like a human. Okay, anyways, Cats was fucking ridiculous. And I was so pissed I wanted to like it. I mentioned that. But it's just, it's not good because of the story, the lack of story. It's just a series of like music videos. Delilah. Yeah, I don't know. Cats is so bad. Go watch our review.
All right.
Number 1.
Yes. So you can at me for this all the hell you want because I don't have a fucking Twitter.
Dang me.
So this has been previously mentioned, but my number 1 in part because of how fucking nauseatingly beloved it is prior to and after its release is Joker. Yeah, that's right. Fucking Joker. I don't care how pretty your movie looks. This was awful.
It was.
Not only did I have a similar to
I don't
It
care how
chapter.
pretty your movie looks.
Not only was the rage I felt while watching this movie very similar to the rage I felt during It Chapter 2, not as heightened during the whole thing, but it's just like on a storytelling level, this just did not hit any marks for me at all. It's pretentious as fuck. Like, it's very clearly like, if you've never seen any movies that came out in the 70s ever, if you've never watched a Scorsese film, which it's very clearly referencing Taxi Driver and King of Comedy throughout, and even though the thing about that to me is that King of Comedy is not one of Scorsese's best films.
It's not. It's so bad.
It is pretty mediocre. And this film banks heavily on the beat for beat similar storytelling, except it's the Joker, but it's not. I'm sorry. # not my Joker. This guy is not. Joaquin Phoenix's Joker does not like.
He's just some guy.
As somebody who loves movies, this film just misses the mark for me. As somebody who loves DC, this film also misses the mark for me because it completely misunderstands the character. It probably would have done a lot better if it wasn't trying to connect it to the DC universe. At least they're not trying to tie it into the larger DCEU, but damn, this is not the Joker. All of the Wayne family stuff is just poorly done. Ugh. And then the biggest issue that I have with this film is the way that it handles mental health.
Vague mental health.
Yeah. and when it gets specific, it gets things very wrong. And I think that's why they avoid getting specific with Arthur Dent.
It is.
But it handles it so poorly. And it's if you're going to try it, it tries to add this level of realism and gravitas, but it's still not. Whereas if they had just gone cartoony and stuck with more character wise with the Joker, they could have gotten away with more. Or if they had taken it in a completely different direction and pulled away from the Joker thing and actually done more research, they could have told a more interesting story. And I think we mentioned in our Parasite review that there are a lot of things that happen at the end of Parasite that tell a story similar to what Joker is trying to tell better.
Go check out Parasite and watch our review.
Yeah, seriously. Parasite is a film worth watching. Joker is not. And there are a lot of other things that tell this kind of story about somebody who's struggling with poverty and mental health issues way better than Joker does. So I'm sorry, fuck Joker.
Fuck Joker.
My number 1 worst movie for 2019 is Wonder Park. The movie where nothing bad ever happens and consequences don't exist. This movie's fucking so bad. I had to like create my own headcanon of like what is going on just to justify the events of like what happens. Because basically the movie just basically says if you have a strong imagination, nothing bad is ever going to happen to you. You're never going to get hurt. You're never going to like lose loved ones or anything like that. And that's all you need in life to succeed is just a strong imagination and a willingness to build something, and everything will go right in your life. And you know there's like multiple instances where there's immense amounts of danger and things like that this character experiences, and nobody gets hurt and no consequences are needed. It's literally just like she decides to not have as much of an imagination, bad things happen. She finds that imagination, good things happen, and everything is better, and none of the bad things that happen for losing it stay. And like literally it got to a point where when she gets off the bus, I thought she got bit by a snake, and she's slowly hallucinating and dying in the woods. And that's what the rest of the movie is after she gets off the bus. It's like the whole Wonder Park thing is just a hallucination of a dying child. And yeah, it's the only way it makes sense. Other than that, fucking pointless movie. Really pissed me off. I did not enjoy watching this. Top 1 worst. Fucking
Top 1 worst.
At me.
All right. Sorry, Delilah. Jeez.
That's how bad it was.
She could have. She's got the death clause. It's okay, baby girl.
She's got a scared face now. She's like, why'd you throw that?
All right. My number 1 least favorite movie. The Lion King.
Sequenia.
Another CGI shit show.
Oh, the Lion King.
The Buddha Bear King.
The Mauser
He's
King.
like, why do you keep picking me up?
So, The Lion King was really fucking bad. And to me, it just represented the worst of Disney. Just doing a soulless remake for the sake of it. And, yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of people have talked about it. It's just a shitty, soulless, terrible remake that has no purpose to exist. And, yeah.
Everybody loves it. Fuck you, Jon Favreau.
Everybody
Fuck.
loves it, and I think that's part of why I really hate it even more, is it made a lot of fucking money. The original is so good, too.
Mm-hmm.
And, like...
The animation is just incredible.
This movie,
And that was Disney's B team.
It's just lifeless. It is a lifeless, cheap movie that's 100% a product. And, I don't know, I felt agony during Joker, and I felt depression during Dr. Sleep, but during Lion King, I felt both agony and depression. And I fucking hated that movie so much. I had to take a few breaks from it. Yeah, that's my pick.
And that wraps it up.
So what do you think? What did you hate this year? What are your least favorite movies?
Yeah, mention them down below in the comments.
It's okay to talk about what you hated. If you saw a bunch of movies, you can discuss and vent. Maybe one day we'll like some of these movies.
Yeah, if you loved movies we hated or you hate movies we love, let us know. Like we'll discuss it down below. But yeah, I think that wraps up 2019 for us for our worst. Stay tuned for our best of, and yeah, we hope to see you guys for 2020.
Stay classy, San Diego.